Hello everyone, welcome to my class. So today is the third video. In the first class we finished with the parts. In the second class we completed the intervertebral disc. So today we will be talking about stabilizing structures of the lumbar spine. So straight away we will go to the whiteboard so that it becomes easier explaining you with a diagram. Yeah. So today's topic is stability. Stability of the lumbar spine. So what are the factors holding the lumbar spine? What do you mean by stability? Example, you have the lumbar spine. You have the lumbar spine. How to make sure that this is stable? That means it should not fall off. Imagine yourself, you are the god. In one of the web series, Nawazuddin Siddiqui had told, कभी कभी लगता है कि अपन ही भगवान है. So imagine that you are the god and you have made the vertebra, and now you have to make sure that it should not fall off. So how to make it? So you have to make the stabilizing structures. So first thing what you want is, so that this does not slip, is the intervertebral disc. Yesterday we spoke about the role of intervertebral disc in detail. So today we will talk about how this intervertebral disc helps in stability. So the first point is intervertebral disc. Write in full form, don't write in short form. Yeah. How this intervertebral disc helps in stability? It helps in two ways. It helps in two ways. The first way is as a rubber ferrule. So what is a rubber ferrule? So you must have noticed like under the table or under the stand, there is a black tip. There is a black tip. Even in for crutches you will be having I can show you the crutch, the black tip. So what is the function of this tip? It will give you a good grip. So this is not actually a great stabilizer, but it is a great gripper. It will give a good grip between surface to surface. So this intervertebral disc acts like a rubber ferrule. That means a rubber tip. So the next how it helps is the hydrodynamic mechanics. This I had explained you in the last class. See, when you have a vertebra above and a vertebra below and there's a disc, so what happens? The pressure applied will get dissipated. There will be a radial expansion, thus there is less force on the lower vertebra. So what does this happen? How does this help? There is less force on the vertebra below. That means what? It can hold more. It can hold up better. So it improves in the stability. So this is the how hydrodynamics helps in taking more load, thus avoid degeneration and become more stable. So this is the intervertebral disc. The second stabilizing factor is obviously the ligaments. Ligaments in every joint, this is the single most stabilizing factor in almost all the joints. So we have to mention all the ligaments which are at the lumbar spine. So name all the ligaments of lumbar spine. Anterior longitudinal ligament, posterior longitudinal ligament, ligamentum flavum, supra spinous ligament, inter spinous ligament, then you have inter transverse ligament, and then iliolumbar ligament. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 ligaments of the lumbar spine. Ligaments, about ligaments, in the next class I will be telling you about the ligaments. So just for now you remember, this is one of the most important stabilizing factor. So next is the third stabilizing factor. So what is the third stabilizing factor? Capsule. Capsule of the facet joint. So you have a facet joint. I'll remove the, you have the facet joint, and surrounding, since you know that facet joint is the synovial joint, so covering this facet joint you have a capsule. It's not a great stabilizer, but academic purpose you have to remember, this limits flexion. Not so great, but theoretically yes, it limits flexion. As you can see, when I do flexion, there is opening up of the facet joint, and thus the capsule get stretched. I hope this is coming in the video. Yeah. So after capsule, fourth stabilizing factor is orientation. Orientation of the facet joint. So when you take a lumbar vertebra, you can see that the facet is oriented. You know what is this? This is the facet, the articulating surface, superior articulating surface. It is always oriented medially and backwards. In this plane. Almost a sagittal plane. See, this is the sagittal plane. See, this is like this. Almost, it is not perfect, almost a sagittal plane. You can see the articulating surface. It is in the sagittal plane. So what happens with this? So when the orientation is like that, the rotation will be limited. As you can see, you cannot rotate with this orientation. Thus, this enhances the stability of the lumbar spine. So in the lumbar spine, the whole of lumbar spine, the rotation is only 5 degree. That means what? The 5 vertebra contributes to 5 degree. That means in each segment there is only 1 degree, of rotation. So this inhibition of rotation plays a greater part in stability. And now the next point is, fifth point is 3-point segment. So what is this 3-point segment? You can see the vertebra. It is weight bearing on 3 points. One is the interbody joint and 2 is the 2 facet joints. That means what? This is the point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. On 3 points the weight is borne. Like 20% the weight is borne by this and 80% the weight is borne by this. So what is the implication of this? Why the 3-point improves the stability? Just imagine this is the 3-point and you can stabilize the weight easily. Suppose if there is 2 points, it is less difficult. It is more difficult, and 1 point, it is most difficult. 3-point, stable, and obviously 4-point will be more stable. But when you can do the job with the 3-point, why do you want a 4-point? So 3-point is good enough to hold the weight. Example, if you want to take an example, take an example of a two-wheeler and auto rickshaw. See, two-wheeler, the 2 wheels are the 2 points, but will it stand without the putting your stand? No, it does not stand. When you put the stand, then only it will become stable, it won't fall off. So that is a 3-point. But when it comes to auto rickshaw, it automatically does not fall off because it has 3 points. And car has 4 points, it is the most stable. Yeah. So thus this 3-point helps in stabilization. Next is thoracolumbar fascia. See, there will be a separate class on this because it's an extensive facial structure. It is like a corset, like how you have a corset covering your back. Suppose if you have back pain, you cover a corset. So there is a natural corset in the lumbar area, which we will discuss when the topic comes in the lumbar spine. So for now you just remember that it is one of the stabilizing factor of the lumbar spine. So final stabilizing factor is vertebral curvature. Excuse my handwriting. Vertebral curvature. So how vertebral curvature helps in stability? So I will show you the picture. See, as you can see, this is the vertebral curvature. Curvature means what? The curve. This is the lordosis, kyphosis, and then lordosis. Can see this curvature. See, this curvature itself acts like a spring mechanism. Suppose if there is a straight bones, the shock absorbing capacity is less. So since you have this curvature, it itself acts like a shock absorbing mechanism. Yes, you have the intervertebral disc acting as shock absorbing mechanism, but they say that this gives more shock absorbing capacity to the body than the intervertebral disc. Thus, this also acts as one of the important stabilizing factor. So this finishes the stability of the lumbar spine, 7 points. So next class I will be talking in detail about the ligaments, anterior longitudinal ligament and posterior longitudinal ligament in one class, and the rest of the ligaments in the other class. I hope you have understood and I hope you have enjoyed the class. Thank you. See you in the next class. Thank you.